Welcome back with another video. Um, Here to talk all things West Indies cricket. Um, as you can see, I'm now in my West Indies shirt. Got the logo here. Ready to rally. 19 days to go until the cricket fiesta is here in the Caribbean. Big up 007. How you doing, man? How you doing? Big up 007. I remember the other day, 007, you were what, in the hospital? How is things going? Big up Supernova. Big up my brother. We're here to talk about West Indies cricket. Come on, I just post the link in the stream so we can have a chat and talk about all things West Indies cricket. And we have many things to talk about. We have to talk about the Nepal series. I got the stats. I'm going to present the stats from the Nepal series. We can talk about West Indians in IPL. We can talk about Shamar Joseph being added to the T20 squad. So lots of stuff to talk about. My condolences, 007. My condolences. May your mom rest in peace. All right, but all right, so we got to share some statistics or T20 fixtures, right? Or this is our T20 fixtures for the year. We've already played that series against Australia right there at the top in yellow. We've already announced that we're taking on South Africa. It's no longer 5 T20s. It is now 3 T20s in Jamaica at Sabina Park. And then now the big one, the World Cup. Everyone can't stop talking about the World Cup. Many are saying West Indies won't do it. Many are saying it's going to be England, it's going to be Australia. Secretly, many believe West Indies are dark horses. So 2023 and 2024. One thing I can say is that this World Cup is going to be very competitive. They're going to match into the game. From the game, audio is sticking a bit. I wonder if it's is the audio still an issue? I took off. Yeah, we're back. I know that my earphone was causing a bit of issue. Um, Hopefully it's a little better now. But yeah, so West Indies, we played a lot of T20s last year. All right, excellent. Thank you, Supernova. It's a lot better. All right. So yeah, come on and join in 007, join in Supernova. Let's have a chat. Right. Yeah. So of course we played what? Three T20s against South Africa, 5 against India, 5 against England, and 3 against Australia. This is all under our new captain, Rovman Poyle. That's 16 T20s, and look how many we won. How many is that we won? 3, 3, 2, and 1. So that's 6, 8, 9 T20s out of 16. So win percentage above 50%, or maybe even just above 60%, which is decent. But we don't want to be winning maybe by, giving ourselves a little more of a room. So far, we've been in close contested series. So 2-1, 3-2. That was 3-2 against England, and then to lose 1-2 to Australia. A little too close to my liking, but it shows that T20 these days are very, very, very competitive. We see that Ireland and Pakistan are currently 1-1 apiece. So definitely T20 is no longer where the top teams are dominating and other teams are way down there. It looks like T20, the gap is very close with all nations, whether it's India, Australia, West Indies, South Africa, Pakistan, Ireland. Everybody just seems so close, and if a top team have a bad day, they could lose. They could really lose. So this is going to be the best T20 World Cup, especially given that we're in the Caribbean where the pitches they're not flat like what we're seeing in the IPL, flat tracks, and bigger teams can just bully smaller teams. I think everybody is in with a shout in the Caribbean. So it's excellent, but yeah, that's it in terms of the T20 series. Just reviewing some stats right there. You can see that we've definitely been on a better trajectory since Rovman Poyle has took over the captaincy. So we shouldn't be as shambolic as we saw in the last T20 World Cup. However, we have to review the West Indies A versus Nepal T20 series. And look at Test. Definitely 007. We can talk about Test. We definitely can talk about Test. I would love to talk about the T20 first, and then we get into some Test cricket, because definitely we can look at Jason making 100 over there in England. We definitely can look at Jaden Seals. I also listened to his interview, Kim Roach. Lots of stuff. But as you can see, 007. Right here, T20 World Cup. Just got my T20 World Cup shirt, man. And yeah, so let's just chop it up. All things T20. We'll definitely get into Test, because there's so much things to talk about in terms of Test cricket, and especially after that draw Test series in Australia, and also or regional 4-day competition. I must say, there's a lot of questions that we have to ask. So definitely we'll talk about Test. I just think that T20 right now. No, I'm a cricket fan. I watch all cricket, man. Oh, this World Cup shirt now, Supernova. I got it from Amazon. I bought it on Amazon. Yeah, but I'm also gonna buy a shirt from eBay. I see that they have the West Indies new kit, like the warm-up kit, all of that stuff. You can look on eBay and purchase it. So I purchased this one from Amazon, but I'm gonna purchase the rest of the kit from eBay. Right? I wanna have my full suit for when I'm gonna go watch that New Zealand versus West Indies T20 World Cup match. That's the one game I'm gonna go to. Right? I won't be able to afford all the other games. So I'll definitely go to that match in particular, West Indies versus New Zealand in Trinidad. But looking at the Nepal series, I must say it was pretty disappointing from a batting and bowling point of view. In terms of the score 3-2, that doesn't really matter so much to me. But what was very disappointing was first and foremost how we set up the batting lineup in some of the games, right? Let's start with even the final game. We had announced the squad the Friday, and the guys were playing the Saturday. Johnson Charles is in the squad, Gudakesh Moti and Roston Chase. They're in the World Cup squad. So why are you gonna drop Andre Fletcher after the man just scored at 84? Drop him for the final T20 to bring in Mark Dale. That's very questionable to me. And yeah, even though we lost the final T20, these are some decisions I question. Like, why would you do that? Fletcher is not going to World Cup. Let the man play. Let the man play. You don't need to be resting Fletcher, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I personally wasn't happy with in this T20 series. But overall, I thought Johnson Charles was okay. Johnson Charles, he's gonna have to be like our Jake Fraser McGurk. We'll see what Fraser McGurk is doing in the IPL. He just comes to the crease and bash the ball in the power play. I think Johnson Charles has that capability to do so, to just get us off to rapid starts. So I really hope Johnson Charles is watching in the IPL to see that the power play is extremely important. And I think Johnson Charles is the guy, right? Yeah, I really hope so. I really hope so, Supernova, that we win all our group matches. And I think we should. I think we really should. No disrespect to New Zealand, no disrespect to Afghanistan, but I think we should. Um, no, yeah, Fletcher wasn't dropped. He was rested. And that's what I was saying. I disagree. But what's your thoughts, Supernova, on resting Fletcher so that Dale could get a game? I sincerely disagree with it. Right? I disagree with this big time. Right? I disagree. I don't think that Fletcher should have been rested, given that he's not a part of the T20 World Cup squad. Let him play as much matches as possible. Right? So Dale could have just been in and around the squad, and Dale really and truly shouldn't have gotten a game. Right? And it's no disrespect to Dale. I like him as a player, but he shouldn't have gotten a game, especially in that fifth T20. I wanted us to win 4-1, but I didn't like that. We underused Hayden Walsh. We look good. Would have loved to see Fabian. Think he was underused. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think so too. But one thing 007 I noticed in this T20 series, Ruston Chase was giving guys opportunity, right? So it wasn't a T20 series where Ruston was necessarily trying to beat Nepal 5-0. What Ruston was looking at was he's trying to identify who fits in what role. But I don't think this series was for that. That is what I disagree with what I saw from Ruston's captaincy. Because Ruston barely bowled in this series, and he's going to the World Cup. O'Shane Thomas, he got smacked in his first over. Possibly shouldn't have gotten any more overs, but I saw Ruston still gave him 2 more overs, and he was smacked. 2.2 overs, none for 27. And then in another game again. So it was all about opportunities and trying to get some guys back in form. But yeah, ideally, Ruston really was just trying to give players opportunity, and it wasn't so much about the score line. But I still disagree with it. All right. All right. So you had no problem because Fletcher had already scored lots of runs. Definitely putting his name for the reserve spot, and he's probably going to be on camp. I get that, Supernova. I get that. I get that. I get that. I can understand that, but I just think that because of our brand, West Indies, I just think a 4-1 scores look better than a 3-2. So I think we should have keep Fletcher, beat them 4-1, and it looks better. Yeah, Leah Athens, he was a little bit disappointing. It was a little bit disappointing. I have to say so myself. Expected a little bit more, but that's how it is sometimes. It's his first time opening the batting in T20, and he was also up and down, right? He was opening, then he was down at 4, and then opening, and then down at 4 or 5. So yeah, 007, it's weird. Athens was all over the place. Apparently, there's a cricket West Indies camp that should be starting today. Yes, 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 yes. Johnny Grieve, I think I heard on Sportsmax saying it. Obed, Athens, Ruston, Fletcher, Hussein, Moti, Sammy should be there. Yes, I think Evan Lewis should be there too, and 007 is just saying it. Evan Lewis should be in the camp, right? But all in all, in the Nepal series, Fletcher was good in a couple of the games. Johnson Charles was good. Ruston Chase was good with the bat. And we highlight the good. Let's talk about the guys who were okay. Athanase was okay. He's striking at 150. That's not bad. Athanase was okay. Fabian Allen was okay with the bat. Saw him in a couple of the innings finishing. But I thought who was definitely poor. Casey Carty was poor. Striking at I remember he made 4 of 10 in one of the games. 4 runs of 10 deliveries. Coming in at number 5. That's really poor. As a middle order batsman, you cannot be doing that. 4 of 10. There was another game where he was striking poor as well. But overall, 52 runs, 52 deliveries, strike rate 100 for Casey Carty. That was poor. Mark Dale, his one match where he scored 11 of 19. That cost us the final T20. And his strike rate being 50 odd, that's unacceptable. And he got clean bowled like 3 times. He got clean bowled of a couple of no balls and the free hit, and then he was out caught. So I thought Dale was awful in that game. In the final T20, I still think they shouldn't have gotten Dale to play that one. Evan Lewis has returned from the wilderness. I thought he had gone extinct like a rare species. Glad to see Evan Lewis came to help the squad prepare. Can't be there. Yeah, I agree. Evan won't be a reserve. But I think it's good that Sammy is keeping Evan around the guys because the truth is Evan Lewis have a big role to play with West Indies cricket. Evan have a big role. I think Evan can come back into this T20 setup. He can come back into the ODI setup. Right? Definitely. Kadina Lane, yes, he got 2 matches. He batted at the top in the final T20, made 11 of, I think, 7 deliveries, hit a 6 and a 4, then was out. And when he batted in the first T20 down the order, he scored what, 14 not out, coming in at about 5 or 6. So Kadina Lane, I thought he looked okay. I didn't see him face enough deliveries to kind of give a comment. But he looks a powerful guy. That's one thing I can say. He looks like when he hit it, it stay hit. He's a strong boy, Kadina Lane. But yeah, I need to see more of him. I saw him a lot in the regional 40 at the top of the order. I didn't really like how he scored majority of his runs. I thought he played a little bit too forceful. Sometimes the deliveries weren't there to be hit, but he forced the shot, got a couple of 50s for the West Indies Academy team. But I would love to see him a bit more now in T20 cricket. So let's see how his career goes, right? He's one for the future. He's definitely one for the future, right? Definitely. Um, yeah, need to learn how to construct an innings. Um, Reminds me of Russell and Pollard. Yeah, he's definitely got that brute strength, right? That's one thing we're proud of in the Caribbean. We have guys with just power. They'll mistime the ball and it can still fly way into the stands, right? Whereas a lot of other teams, they have to time the ball perfectly. I think they were showing a stat with how many sixes we hit versus Australia, and we were way ahead of them in the T20 series that we lost. Against India and England, we also hit way more sixes than them. So, yeah, it's just that we have that brute strength. So, sometimes it works in our favor. Cartier and Athene is disappointed, but Test cricket is where I think Casey can thrive and play his game. He gets frustrated too much in white ball if he can't pierce a gap. Yeah, that is so true. I think Casey Carty is going to be an excellent ODI and Test cricketer. I think his ODI game is improving. Yeah, he was struggling in a couple of the games versus England, but then he got that 50. Athanaze, yeah, I think Athanaze he loses his concentration a bit way too easy. Athanaze loses concentration way too easy, and I think he needs to work on that. But yeah, the batting was overall it was okay. Johnson Charles, as the man going to World Cup, really put his hand up. So that's good. And these were the bowlers now. Um, Carty needs ODI and tests. Yeah, keep him. I agree. Keep Casey Carty away from T20 cricket for now. Allow him to develop his game in ODI and Test cricket. Whoa, that's a big statement, 007. If Carty bats at 3, then what is going to happen to Kirk McKenzie? So, interesting. Unless they're sending McKenzie to go to the top. McKenzie had a poor 4-day championship, but the man was the leading run scorer versus Australia, so he's not going to be dropped. But I would like Carty to be in the squad, but it's only 15 man, so as I said, that's another video for us to talk about. Or test team. Yeah. And then I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know how they're gonna get Carty in the squad. Anthony is going down the road towards a John Campbell. Yeah, John Campbell, Athanaze, these guys, they'll score some 20s and 30s, lose concentration and get out. But it's something that we can work on. We can work on because one thing I can say, these guys have potential. And once you have potential and they're willing to put in some work, I think we can work with that, right? They have potential. I can see Athanaze being a great ODI and test player. So as long as he wants to, have that hunger to bat for plenty deliveries. Also playing ODI cricket alongside Shea Hope. Shea Hope has this appetite for runs that I think that Athanaze being around Shea Hope, it's gonna be passed on, and it's gonna be something that is gonna become intrinsic in him. So I think playing around Shea Hope in ODI cricket will give him that mentality to have that hunger for runs. So I have no problem. We will always have the power, but the running between the wickets, fitness, and gap finding. I agree a lot, Supernova, with the gap finding and running between the wickets, but I don't think fitness is no longer an issue because I'm looking at India and I'm looking at India and West Indies, right? Rohit Sharma. Rohit is not the fittest guy. Yeah, Virat Kohli is pretty fit. Jaiswal, he's not all that fit. Yes, he's a good bloke who opened the batting. Sanju Samson, he's not all that fit. I was watching Rajasthan train. Now it's a hit. He's possibly even fitter than Sanju Samson. So all I'm saying though is I think fitness, we've improved our fitness a lot. If you look at our team, Brandon King is pretty fit. Um, let's not look at Johnson Charles, but Andre Russell is the fittest he's ever been. Akil Hussain is pretty fit. Alzari Joseph takes his fitness serious. Shea Hope, his fitness is very good. So I think all in all, Shamar Joseph, his fitness is superb. So I think Supernova, we definitely can say that our boys are a little bit fitter. But yeah, our gap finding and death bowling, that's what we really have to talk about, death bowling. So even in this Nepal series right here, Supernova, we were looking at it. Matthew Ford, economy of 9. That's pretty poor versus Nepal. Obed McCoy, he was very good with the new ball, took 8 wickets. He was very good also coming in the back end. But I just wonder how much did that squad being announced Friday affect him playing that final T20 on Saturday? Imagine Obed would have taken 6 or 7 wickets before the final game, and then he went into the final game only to hear the squad and he's not there. How much did that affect him? So when he was bowling that over, he was all over the place. And they took him down for 5 consecutive boundaries and win. They wanted 22 from 12 and they scored 22 in 5 deliveries. I wonder how much did that affect Obed McCoy, given that the squad was already announced and he wasn't there. So these are some stuff we have to look at. But Obed was very good in the series. Fabian Allen was exceptional with the ball. But the problem with Fabian is he's competing against Gudakesh Moti. and Akil Hussein, and they're way ahead of him, to be truthful. Gudakesh wasn't as good in this series, but it was also the fact that Ruston wasn't bowling him a lot, because Ruston, he didn't bowl a lot either, and Gudakesh didn't bowl himself. Gudakesh didn't bowl a lot either. I guess Ruston wanted to see the others. He was mainly allowing Hayden Walsh to bowl, and Hayden was getting in some good form, so that's good. Hayden, I think, will play a vital role for us in the future. Maybe not this World Cup, but in the future. Hayden did pretty well. Fabian Allen did pretty well. Obed McCoy was good. Matty Ford really needs to work on how he's going to bowl when he's not getting swing. Because we notice once he's getting swing, his first over is good. But after the first over, he's coming back. His economy is pretty poor. So we got to work on that. Kind of glad also that Cricket West Indies put us to play Afghanistan in St. Lucia. Listen, Supernova, I am elated because Afghanistan, if you look at it, Rashid Khan getting licks right now in IPL, and Noor Ahmed and other guys. Afghanistan spin threat on flat pitches, they're getting licks like crazy. So if we bring them to St. Lucia, there's a good chance we can give them licks like crazy. So I'm very happy you point that out. Yeah, we definitely have to do that. Kirk opens or is a backup opener. Kirk opens or is a backup opener. This is kind of for T20s versus South Africa. Do you think the country has fumbled the World Cup bag by not bidding? No way Jamaica wouldn't get two big games, man. Yeah, I think they definitely fumbled that. They definitely fumbled that. But we see that they've changed presidency. Um, they've changed cricket president. So let's see what a change in president result in. Let's see. I think they fumbled the bag by not bidding for the World Cup. I really think so, but let's wait and see. Shea Hope is pretty fit. I agree. 007. Shea Hope is extremely fit. Obed himself to be blamed after he recovered from injury. He chose franchise over returning to West Indies. I think it's very difficult to say that because sometimes West Indies just discard player and then out of the wilderness they come again back into West Indies. For example, Kemo Paul. Kemo Paul was in this series and he looked way out of touch with bat and ball. If you look at it, I put Kemo Paul in yellow. Maybe it's not so clear. Maybe I have to change it. But Kemo Paul was awful. Kemo Paul, his economy was 13 in this series. He wasn't able to strike the ball cleanly. And O'Shane Thomas was also poor. Right? But just focusing on Kemo Paul, he was really poor. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's usually a very good death bowler. He's usually one who execute change of pace fairly well, and he has that bouncer as well, a very lethal bouncer and stuff like that. So Kemo Paul definitely has some work to do. But yeah, overall, yeah, Kemo Paul, O'Shane Thomas, Obed McCoy, these guys coming out of the wilderness back into West Indies, they've got some work to do. So I'm not gonna put any blame on any of these guys. The good thing is they're around the T20 setup and they'll be around the ODI setup. As long as they're putting in the work to try to get back to their best shape, I'm fine with that. Not gonna be too hard on them. Also, I saw on Cricket West Indies Insta on the squad picture that someone said Obed is a Vinci, so they didn't pick him and went for Shamar. So do you think if Shamar was a Vinci and Obed was a Guyanese, it would matter? No. Supernova, I disagree. I don't think that at this point right now, where truth be told, I'm seeing that we're being more unified as a Caribbean, and I hope that we continue to do so. Right? I don't think at this point West Indies are looking so much at which territory you're from, because at the end of the day, we're trying to win a World Cup and we're picking our best squad. I think they went with Shamar purely because, you know, he they don't see a lot of him, and also the fact that Shamar can bowl up front with the new ball. I think that's what they were looking at. Power play wickets. They're trying to get power play wickets. Obed, he can bowl two up front and two at the back. Is he going to be able to go through the entire World Cup fitness? They might look at also fitness. But I guess they just went with the fact that if Shamar is on a rampage, on a roll, he can bowl his 3-4 overs up front. 3 in the power play, then 1 right after. Right? We don't even need him for the back end if he's going well up front. And if he can get 2 for 30, 2 for 25, 2 for 26. Right? They're just gambling on the fact that he can swing the ball both ways. He has good pace. He has very good control. That's the key thing I think that they went with for Shamar. He has excellent control. I saw that Shamar was able to hit a length against Mitchell Starc. 4 deliveries in a row. Mitchell Starc playing across the line, top edge, and then it felt safe. Again, played across the line, top edge, it felt safe. And then the third one, playing across the line, and then Craig Brathwaite took the catch. So one thing about Shamar Joseph, he has excellent control. Not many bowlers in the Caribbean have that amount of control. And I just think Sammy went with that. Now, whether they went with Obed or Shamar, I'm okay, Supernova. I'm telling the truth. I'm pretty okay with whoever they had chosen. I think it's fine. But I like the reasoning of going with Shamar, if that's the case, looking at a power play bowler, because we really struggle in the power play. That's our weakest area, and then the death bowling. But if we can fix the power play, I think that the death bowling will also be rectified, because when teams are on the back foot, they don't have that luxury to just go extremely all out as well, because then they have to navigate the middle and then try to set up their back end. And in the Caribbean, it's difficult to finish sometimes if you don't have that platform being laid, or a set batter. A set batter in the Caribbean is very important. So, yeah, that is something to look at. That's just biased and degrading. Don't study them. Personally, I'm thinking Obed injury worry and Shamar X factor with the PSA, just as what gave Shamar the nod. Also, we must bring Kyle, Shamar, Rutherford, and Alzari to the camp. Yeah, I would love to get Kyle Mayers and Shafane Rutherford and Shamar and Alzari. I'd love to get all of them, but the issue is that I think let me see. Rutherford is not going to be available because his team, they're going to the playoffs in IPL. So Rutherford is going to be in the playoffs. So we're definitely not going to get Rutherford. RCB for Alzari, I think his team is going to be knocked out. So by the end of this week, Alzari's IPL is over and he'll be back with us. Shamar, LSG, their team still have a chance. So Nicholas Poor and Shamar and Kyle may not be with us. Their team, they're in with a shout to go through. But if they don't go through, then we'll see all of them back in the camp. But hopefully Supernova will get to see all of them back. It would be, I see England pull back their players so they can have them. So that's pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. Cricket West Indies should call the IPL bench players this week. IPL is too long, drawn out, and boring, and has snatched our entire dry season. Our World Cup should be finishing, but it hasn't even starting. That is so true. IPL is a whole of 2 months, and sometimes they go like 3 weeks before to get settled in. So it's really almost like 3 months in India. And then to come right into a World Cup without readjusting back to our home conditions can be detrimental to our success. So I agree with the Supernova. I see England call back their team. They call back their players. They say, listen, after May 19, everybody needs to come home. You have to come home and get ready for a World Cup. So it's something that Cricket West Indies, we have to look at. But then again, we don't play our players like ECB, right? So it's difficult for us to do that. But I agree. I 100% agree. Chemo Paul, disappointing. Chemar Holder injury plague and can't keep fit. Yeah, what's happening with Chemar Holder? Chemar Holder is looking good in his comeback run in England County. Yep, Chamar Holder. I remember seeing him burst onto the scene, especially during that COVID period. But since then, he's been so injury prone. Marquino Minley is another guy as well. Like, these guys are not staying fit. They're not staying fit, man. And that's extremely disappointing as seamers. Kimo looked out of sorts. Hope you're going to the Universe Boss versus Usain Bolt race. Definitely, definitely. Cannot miss it, man. Cannot miss it. Cannot miss it. Have to support the Universe Boss. And hopefully he's going to take down Usain Bolt in a world record of 9.37 seconds. The Universe Boss himself, the man cannot lose. As long as it's not O'Shane. Yeah, O'Shane has a lot of work to do. O'Shane has a lot of work to do. Also, we need to discuss the elephant in the room. Where does Hetty fit into this 11? Only if Rutherford is hurt can I fit Hetty into 11. Because if Hope is dropped, then Chase would come in. I agree, Supernova. I 100% agree. And as you touch on that, looking at the squad, right? This is West Indies squad. I highlight these two persons, Andre Russell and Shamar Joseph, because I think they're going to be. I also want to highlight Nicholas Pooran. I want to highlight Nicholas Pooran as well. I think Pooran, Andre, and Shamar, I think those three, everybody have a role to play, but I think these three in particular can be, they're going to be like the game-changing players for us, right, in the World Cup. This is just the feeling I have. I think Russell's ability to finish an innings is going to be extremely critical. Also, if Russell can play a similar role that he plays for KKR, will be very good. Russell is used as a 6 bowling option. Right now, he has 15 wickets in the IPL, just as good as Narayan when he's used as a 6 bowling option. So what that means is that Ruston Chase has to play to give Russell that ability to be used as an X-factor bowler to take wickets in the middle and the end. Shamar has to do extremely well to support Akil Hussain with the new ball. Please, Shamar needs to give us that control. But I know many persons going to struggle how you're going to fit in Shamar and Alzari, but we'll work that out. Especially given that we're playing in Guyana, you want to have Moti in your 11, and I guess you cannot have Moti and Shamar both being in the 11. So some question for us to ask, and Nicholas Pooran has to bat at number 3. Nicholas Pooran has to bat at number 3. The ability that he has when he gets 50 balls, Pooran can really hurt the opposition. So I want Nicholas Pooran. We don't want to be using him down at number 5. He's not no finisher. We got Rutherford, we got Dre Russ, we got Rovman, the captain. These are finishers. We want Pooran in West Indies to be building innings, and the guys can bat around Pooran. So definitely we have to discuss that in terms of the playing 11. I agree with you, Supernova. But my point with those players is that those are the ones who aren't getting any game time. Cricket West Indies have to be selfish so West Indies can do the best in this World Cup. I agree, Supernova. We have to be selfish. We have to be selfish. We really have to. Because I really think we can win this World Cup. With the squad selected, it's either Hetty plays or Rutherford plays, or if he plays over an opener with Hope or Pooran to open. Pooran to open or Hope to open is a good idea, 007. Nothing is wrong with that. But I guess Johnson Charles and Brandon King will get first dibs. If they're not doing so well, I can see that they then throwing that as a possibility to Rutherford open or Hope open. I doubt they let Pooran open. I think they want him at 3. They really want him at 3 because they want Pooran to play spin in the middle. Pooran, Ruston, Chase, Shea Hope, these are guys who are going to have to play spin in the middle. So I think that's the issue. I know Cricket West Indies has plans for Hope to play all games, hence the vice captain blunder by giving. Yeah, I agree with that 007. They even forget that Shea Hope was a T20 vice captain. They're looking at it and maybe he's not even in the original starting 11 for the first game. I agree with that 007. So they took it from him. But I don't think Alzari should be given the vice captain in the sense that I think if Alzari continues to have a couple more bad games, I would rest him. I don't want to say Alzari is a shoe-in as well. So we have some questions to be asked. And there's a reason why I say that 007. I'm going to show you something, right? If we look at the bowling, I'm going to fast forward to IPL, some IPL statistics, and I'm going to look at the bowling first. Look at this. Alzari played 3 matches, only took 1 wicket, right? Ignore this best. His best was 1 for 39, right? Alzari, that was his best, 1 for 39, right? And his economy, look at this economy. Basically 12 runs per over. He's bowled 58 deliveries, went for 115 runs. Combine that with Shepherd, 60 deliveries, 129 runs for 1 wicket. If we're looking at Alzari and Shepherd alone together, these two can bowl 20 overs. That's 2 wickets in the IPL for about 240 runs. How can you have Shepherd and Joseph as one of your main 5 bowlers, both of them, and this is what they're giving you? Shamar played 1 game, no wicket, so he has no average. Economy of 11. Look at these 3 guys, right? That's poor. Dreyros's economy is high, but he's getting wickets. However, this right here is a combination for disaster. You cannot have 3 bowlers, all of them going at 10s and 11 and 12. That don't make any sense. So you're basically asking Akil and Gudakesh to go out there and they're going to have to single-handedly beat the opposition because our seamers definitely are not doing it. Dreros getting the wickets, but Dreros should be your 6th bowling option. He's not one of your main 5. So Dreros is one of those guys. He's going to come in and give you 2 wickets. You give him 2 overs. If he's having a good day, then you let him continue. But Dreros is not one of the main 5. And if our bowlers are getting hammered like this, and these guys are all going to play, imagine all of them together. So I don't want Alzari to be a show-in. I don't think he should have been given the vice captaincy for T20 because Shepherd, Joseph, Polar, Russell, these are all guys going at 10s and 11. So that is something for us to look at. Sunil is exceptional, but we're not even going to talk about Sunil Narayan's economy of 6 because guess what? He said he don't want to play at World Cup. So that's extremely sad. That's extremely sad. And the batting looks okay. I'm going to be honest. The batting looks okay. What is the deal with Odin Smith? Anand, welcome. The deal with Odin Smith, there's no deal really. Odin just has lost form. So Odin losing form is a bit of a concern. So Odin needs to just work on his fitness, take some wickets in the CPL, and he'll come back into the T20 setup. So Odin just needs to be consistent. That's his problem. We saw Guyana using him as a pinch hitter at the top. It wasn't working. When he bowled a few overs, he's getting licks. Odin just needs to work on his game, right? I saw him. He was playing Senior Cup in Jamaica, right? He was playing some cricket. So he's here. He's thereabout. But Odin got some work to do, man. Odin got some work. First set of matches in Guyana. Yeah, first set of matches in Guyana. So we know that Roston, Chase, and Akil, either they go with Akil and Roston or they go with Akil and Gudakesh. Or maybe all 3 play. You never know. It's in Guyana. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Dre, Russ, and Puran, these are the seniors. They have to carry the team on their backs. I really think so. They have to. All right. Definitely got tickets for the first few games. Kensington Oval. The final at Kensington would be the loudest if it's ever been if we keep the trophy at home. Yeah, definitely. And if we make the finals, trust me, I'm going to Kensington too, man. Definitely Supernova. We'd have to link up, man. If West Indies is in that finals in Barbados, I'm really hoping so, man. I'm really hoping so. I really hope that we can win this World Cup. I think we have the team. It's just up to the guys to execute. Our bowling is really a problem. So, yeah, the bowling got to sort itself out. And I think we're up to win the World Cup from any position, even if we're 60 for 4 in 7 overs. Just the way our batting bats way down to 10 and 11. You see, even in the Australia series, we were what, 60 odd for 5? And then Dreros and Rutherford took us to 220. That's exceptional. We were 5 wickets down for a little bit of runs, and we got to 220. So, yeah, our batting is very explosive. Even against England, I think we got bowled out for 192 inside 15 overs. That's crazy. We had 5 more overs to play chasing the 260 odd. So I think that our batting is very explosive. It's just the bowling. We got to work on the bowling. My 11 for the first 2 matches: King and Pooran to open. That's something new. Chase at 3, Rutherford, Powell. All right, they can interchange based on the situation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Russell 6, Shepherd 7, Hussein 8, Alzari 9, Moti 10, Shamar 11, 007. Listen up. This is a powerful 11, right? I don't know how much they'd want to send Puran to the top, but I agree 100% with this 11. If we're thinking about playing our best 11, I think this is good. But I think Johnson Charles getting 100, it's going to be hard for them to leave out Charles. But I like this 11. I really do like this 11 because we have the 6 bowling option in Ruston Chase. I don't consider Rovman or Rutherford really a bowler. So I don't really consider them a bowler. So Russell, Shepherd, Hussein, Azar, Moti, Shamar, as well as Chase, I think that's very good. So if it's turning a lot, we can get 4 overs out of Chase, Moti, and Hussein. And then, of course, we have Shamar to just bowl up front. We can have our Russell and Shepherd, as well as Alzari to bowl in the middle and the back end and mix it up. Don't have to give them 4 overs apiece. I think this would be exceptional, 007. I love this 11, but let's see what they are thinking. Are going the Antigua games for free and getting paid. The Antigua games, West Indies playing in Antigua. I know we're playing in Guyana. And then we play, after we play Papua New Guinea and Uganda in Guyana, we play New Zealand in Trinidad, and then we play Afghanistan in St. Lucia. I believe in Zari, he will play every game unless he has a bad start to the tournament. Hope he is not a lock in every game, especially in Trinidad where we need 3 spinners. Yeah, in Trinidad, we saw where Shea Hope won us that 50-20 versus England. In Trinidad and Guyana, the pitches are a little bit slower. Yes, so definitely 2 spinners, the minimum, and of course 3 spinners if we have 3 spinners, which we do now. So yeah, definitely can't just say he's a shoe-in. They shouldn't. Zari is going to be the next holder, captain all series. And I have no problem with that. I think he takes his cricket very serious. So yeah, Zari can be captain. Jason Holler has to be our pressure builder and economical pacer. He can't be expensive as Alzari Ross. They are strike bowlers, and yes, that's the thing. Those guys are strike bowlers. They'll get you wickets, but they'll go for a few runs. Then you need 2 or 3 seamers now that can keep it down. Or if you don't have 2 or 3 seamers to keep the run rate down, you need 1 seamer to keep the run rate down to build pressure, as well as your spinners build pressure. And Holder might have to be the guy. So it's very difficult to choose the 11 based on the fact that Shepherd going for runs, Alzari, and Dre. But the fact is that Dre Ross is getting wickets. So Dre is definitely good. It's just that the others need to get some wickets. But now let's talk about the stat you're seeing on the screen in terms of the batters in IPL. We're not going to mention Narayan. Narayan has really been electric. If you look at it, averaging 38, striking 180, 400 plus runs. Narayan is at the top of his game now, and he should be in the World Cup squad. But Nicholas Pooran, he's been underutilized at at LSG. If you look at it, averaging 60, strike rate 160, best of 64 not out. He's been very good, Nicholas Pooran, but he hasn't had a chance to really impact the game because they're batting him too down, way down the order, batting at 5, 6. And also he's coming in sometime with 4 overs or 5 overs to go. So they're underutilizing Pooran. Russell has been very good in the few games that he's required. You look at that, averaging 64, strike rate 185. Again, Dre Russ is back to his full fitness. Shea Hope is the first man. Like, how does Shea Hope do this? Shea Hope got run out, I think, twice, right? Well, he was involved in a run out, and then he got another guy run out. Like, I mean, I can't understand that. Backing up a bit too much, and then the next game, you're playing a straight drive, and, you know, getting your teammate run out. Like, that's just weird. That's just weird. But Shea Hope, um, he hasn't looked bad, but I think Ruston Chase is going to start ahead of Shea Hope. It's just the truth. I just think Shea Hope, he hasn't shown enough outside of CPL when he's been given the chance in West Indian colors. Rovman Powell, boy, some games that I thought he should have finished, the games were finishing him. And Hetty, he finished 2 games for Rajasthan easily. One of them where they had, I think, 20 at the chase in 2 overs, Hetty finished. And another game where they had, I think, like 17 in 2 overs. He and Just Butler finish it. And Rovman has been finishing himself. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Both of them, they play for Rajasthan. Hetty gets the nod ahead of Rovman most times, but he's currently injured now. So it's going to be tricky to see what Rovman thinks of Hetty now, given that Hetty is finishing fairly okay in Rajasthan. He's able to only use a few balls. He also has one of the biggest sixes in the IPL, smacking one of the balls out the park. So, but I don't think Hetty should fit into the 11, but he's been finishing well, and Rovman hasn't been finishing so well. Shepard's finish is out of this world. 10 balls to make 39 was incredible. Another game he made 15 off 6, and then another game he made 1 from 2. So he's batted 3 times, Shepard, and 15 not out of 6, 39 not out of 10. Shepard's finish is exceptional. Coming in the 17th or the 18th over, he gave us a killer finish. But yeah, Kyle Mayers and Shafin Rutherford, they're yet to get a game. So those guys, nothing in it for them so far. But overall, our batting looks decent. We got to watch King in the camp for that knee injury, if anything, Charles Open. Yeah, Johnson Charles definitely just scored that 100 in Nepal, and he's been in good touch. Yeah, so we have to watch that knee injury for King. But I think if King is injured, more than likely they're going to want Shea Hope to open. Or maybe they go with a left field decision and even send Rutherford. You never know. King, Charles, Pooran, Rutherford, Russell, Shepard, Chase, Hussain, Moti, Alzari. So 3, 4, Rutherford 4, Powell 5, Russell 6, Shepard 7, Chase 8, Hussain 9, Moti. Yep, I like that. I can't argue with it. I really can't argue with it. I'm only just thinking that I would love to get Shamar in the 11. The only way to get Shamar in the 11 is to drop one of the openers and then move everybody one up and squeeze Shamar in. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I'm thinking like 007. So Supernova, I like what 007 says. This same 11, but just drop one of the openers and put in Shamar somewhere in there. But I think this is more than likely Supernova. This 11 that you name will be the 11. And depending on the situation, that's how we're going to use Ruston Chase. So if Ruston Chase finds that West Indies are 22 for 2 in the 4th over, Ruston might be going out there to bat. But if it's a case where we're 160 for 2 in the 12th over, then Chase is definitely going to bat way down there might not be used with the bat or required at all. So yeah, I think Supernova, this will be the playing 11. No, but I'm at the World Cup. That's okay. Okay, yeah. Remember, West Indies will be C2. Yeah, we're in Group C, and we're seeded what, C2? Um, I think so. Yeah, we're in Group C with New Zealand. Yeah, we're in Group C with New Zealand. So, what? These are the groups. Is this Group C? New Zealand. Yeah, we're C2. C1, they put New Zealand first. West Indies next. Afghanistan, Uganda, and Papua New Guinea. Yeah, definitely. I give in Shamar debut on home soil. Yeah, give the man a crack in front of his home crowd. Every team is pre-tournament. So India A1, New Zealand is C1, England B1, South Africa D1. No matter the position, if they qualify. I need to see Shamar versus South Africa and Jamaica before forming any opinion on playing him, to be honest. I would most likely play him versus Afghanistan. Yeah, in St. Lucia, definitely St. Lucia. St. Lucia, I only play two spinners, Chase and Hussein, going all out quicks. Yeah, we might not even need to play. We might not even need to play two seamers. All right. Ruston Chase has the ability to be the Marlon Samuels. I agree, 007. However, he must bat at the rate he did in the Red Ball tournament where he scored versus Lee Watts in the 4-day. Now, in wrapping up, because I'm at work, gonna have to get back to doing some work. So I just want us to share our top four, being honest, right? Let's look at the squads. Just be honest, based on form or based on our gut feeling, share our top four for this World Cup. And do we realistically think West Indies can actually win this World Cup, right? Do we think we can win this World Cup? Going to share a tab here, the ICC work, looking at the squads. I hope in another video give a prediction of every West Indies match. Yeah, as we get closer to the World Cup, I'm definitely going to do that Supernova. As you can see, I got my West Indies shirt now. I'm really excited. I'm going to go to that Trinidad match. I'm going to try to see if I can even, every now and again, put a little live footage or something. It's going to be really nice, man. We have to rally around our team. So 007, West Indies, South Africa, England, Australia. I really like South Africa. 007, I really like them in terms of their batting unit, but I don't think their bowling will allow them to make the top four. That's my thing. I think that Anrik Nakia is out of form. I think everybody has seen what Rabada has to offer. Maharaj and Shamsi, they're okay, right? And they'll be a handful in the Caribbean. But given the fact that South Africa play what, night games? Is it night game? No. South Africa play mainly day games. Yeah, they'll be fine. Shamsi and Maharaj will basically have to carry the bowling because I think South Africa seamers are out of form. West Indies, our bowling also needs to sort itself out. England, I think too much is dependent on Jofra Archer, right? Depending on the type of form he's in. And Australia, Australia, they always do well in World Cup, but 007, I want you to look at something, right? I'm showing you right here. Let me show you Australia's squad. I want you to look at something, 007. So look at this, my friend. Look at this. Mitchell Marsh, he's injured. Ashton Agar, this man is in every Australia squad and never gets a game. I really don't understand it. He's in every World Cup squad and he's not playing. Pat Cummins is doing well in the IPL. Tim David, not so much. Nathan Ellis, he bows lots of change of pace and stuff. Not seen much of him. Cameron Green more than likely won't play. Travis said he's doing well. Josh Inglis, he's there or thereabout. He's usually the backup keeper. Glenn Maxwell is out of form. Mitchell Stark hasn't looked like himself. Marcus Stoinis has that one big 100 in IPL, but I mean, he hasn't really looked like the Stoinis, especially playing for Australia. He's going to be batting at 6. Matthew Wade, he hasn't really been in the best of form. David Warner is just coming off injury. Zampa wasn't doing too well, pretty well in the series against West Indies. He did okay in one of the games, but in the other 2 games, he was getting lots of licks. So I don't know. Australia squad, if you look at it on paper, looking at the injuries they have and stuff like that, but for some reason, once it's World Cup, Australia always find a way to fight. That's the thing. Australia always find a way to fight. So can't argue with your top 4 007. That's a nice top 4. My top 4 is England, India, Australia, and West Indies. We can win this. I definitely think so too, Supernova. So most persons have England, India, Australia. Most persons in the world, that is, have England, India, Australia. And then, of course, in the Caribbean, we're going to have West Indies. India have lots of problem themselves. So I'm going to show you something as well, Supernova, right? India have lots of problems. Rohit Sharma, their captain, is out of form. Hardik Pandya is out of form. Yashasvi Jaiswal is a hit or miss in this IPL. Virat Kohli is in excellent form. However, he's opening the batting. For India, he's not going to be opening the batting. How much is that going to affect him? Move down to number 3. Sky, so far he's done well on and off. It's either he makes a 50 or 100 or he makes nothing. So Sky is one of the 3. He's not in between. Rishabh Pant or Sanju Samson, they've got a headache there. Both of them are in form. Shivam Dube, really and truly, he should take Hardik's game. However, we know India not going to drop Hardik Pandya. Jadeja, the finisher, really not finishing anything but himself. Akshar Patel looks good when he's batting 5 or 6, but for India, he would have to bat at 7 or 8, and he's not the most powerfully built guy. Kuldeep, we know he's going to be magical in the Caribbean. Chahal has lost that oomph about him. He's getting licks left, right, and center. Arshdeep for Punjab is getting licks. Bumrah, he seems like everything is on his shoulders for India with the ball. Mohammad Siraj is just getting into some form. So really and truly, every team have something to worry about. When you look at it, every team have something to worry about. I think we can go the length, but we must give it over. We need to give it 100%. So 250%, we have to give it everything. Only Bangladesh and Pakistan have named their squad. Daniel Doram is in the Netherlands squad named today. That is quite interesting. I think that they've actually sent their squad to, if I'm being honest, Supernova, I think they've actually sent their squad to ICC. It's just that we haven't seen it as yet, right? So they haven't publicly announced it, but it had to be sent in May 25, right? And of course, maybe they plan to make changes, so that is why they haven't like fully put it for everybody to see. Also, given the fact that Mohamed Amir and a couple other guys, they had some visa issue, so they had to sort out that visa issue first. So, I mean, they have some stuff to deal with. Pakistan just losing to Ireland and then beating back Ireland. So T20 is very competitive right now. Right, but we're gonna have to close off here. We're definitely gonna have to close off here. It was really nice speaking with you, 007. Nice hearing from you, Supernova. My top 4, just to close with my top 4, definitely West Indies. We're going to be there. Definitely Australia. West Indies, Australia for sure. I'm going to throw in South Africa. And the next spot, I'm going to I'm just going to go off on a tangent and say New Zealand. And the reason why I say New Zealand, I just think New Zealand always find a way to get into the top four. So I'm going West Indies, New Zealand, Australia. West Indies, New Zealand. No, I'm going to change my mind. New Zealand and West Indies for sure. Australia for sure. Those three I'm going to stick with. And you know what? I think England's going to get robbed out of this tournament. I'm not going England. I think South Africa. Right? So going to leave it there. Definitely we shall talk more. Definitely going to ensure 007. We talk about some test cricket. It's just that World Cup takes preference. And definitely Supernova, we have lots to talk about. Definitely we're gonna have to talk about how each individual game is gonna go. We might even do a pre-show before the game and after the game for the matches in Guyana, right? And definitely I'll be live in Trinidad watching that New Zealand game. So lots to talk about. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe, Supernova. Stay safe, 007. We'll talk some more and have a wonderful day. I am out.